Hey everyone, Melting Man 234 here with another action figure review. And this time I'm going to do something different by doing a non-scripted review. Oh no! Now of course when it comes to me, I hate doing non-scripted stuff since back in my old days doing Action Mario and Luigi Plus I did unscripted. And then after my horrible rant that came around, I decided to go into scripting. But today I just felt like doing a non-scripted rant because I'm just bored and just decided to try something new. So anyway, we're going to be looking at some old Nightmare Before Christmas action figures. Ooh, jump cut. Sorry about that. There's going to be probably a lot of these jump cuts because I'm doing a non-scripted review. But anyway, I'm going to be doing some old Nightmare Before Christmas action figures that were surprisingly actually made by NECA. That's done a lot of merchandising for Nightmare Before Christmas and other merchandising, but these are probably the first figures that they did before they decided to go back and do newer ones, more better ones. But yeah, they did two versions of the back of the figures, or boxes, the containers, whatever they hold the figures in. But we have the back, and we have the characters that are listed. Collect them all! And we have all the characters that are listed that are pretty much photos of the puppets that were used in the actual film. And then on the second version of the box, we have more different designed background with all the designs, and we actually have photos of the figures. So we have Jack, Sally, the Mayor, Santa, Oogie Boogie, Behemoth, Dr. Finkelstein, or the Evil Scientist, Santa Jack, and the Werewolf. So anyway, let's get on to the figures. So obviously, starting off with Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King of Halloween Town. Yes, he's very bendy. He's pretty much just a bendy figure. That's what he is. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, the design's pretty much okay. Stripes on the pants, for some reason they're kind of like loosely just drawn on there, not like straightened up like how it is on his top half with the shirt and stuff. Oh yeah, he can bend his neck, but basically it's just a bendy figure. Now, I remember getting this in the packet, and for some reason it had this weird black thing sticking out of his back. I had no idea what it is, but I basically tore it off because it just just looked weird on Jack. But yeah, it's a okay figure. And of course these figures, they usually come with accessories. Like this pumpkin head for Jack, which is probably supposed to be representing his Pumpkin King form. Let's see if I can get it on. I hope so, because all the pegs that were in there are basically broken off except for one. So yeah, here he is, that's ejaculated for a head. I'm the Pumpkin King, even though I don't have my full costume and such. And also, he comes with a base. Now, I like these bases because they're pretty cool because they're in the shape of tombstones. And we have a little symbol there, the name of the film, and of course the name of the character. And they go in pretty easily. They go in there, and then it goes in here, and yep, there he is, just standing on his base. Pretty cool looking. And then of course they also made the another version of Jack, which is just Santa Jack. Yep, it's Jack as Santa Claus. Pretty okay design for a character, very nice. They got the details and such and everything, even though for some reason they have these white little pom-poms on the end of his coattails, even though that wasn't in there in the film. But yeah, he also comes with his beard and his hat that he basically stole from Santa. And they also come off, so you can take the hat off and take the beard off. And now it just looks like someone shot Jack in the head and shot him on the top. And he also comes with a little accessory, which is this part of a present. It's basically the top of a present with this snake coming out of the top. And you'd think there'd be some kind of box to go with this, but no, that's it. This is basically you get as a accessory. It just sucks. Of course, we have the hat and the beard, which would just count as the accessory. And then also his base is a tombstone. It's green and has holly and everything. He still has Jack Skellington, even though he's obviously Santa Jack. Let's get this in here. So yeah, fits very well, even though it's not in camera. So yeah, it fits very well. Very nice. And then of course the next figure we have is Sally, the ragdoll. So yes, here she is, very wobbly. Well, kind of wobbly. Well, this thing's pretty old and probably about ready to break any minute now. But yeah, it's a pretty okay figure. It has all the designs and details with it, and of course another interesting thing is that her arms, limbs, and head can pop off, which is something just like in the movie. Although I've never seen her head pop off before. It's just weird. It's a headless Sally. Rah. And then she also comes with this little carrying case, which is her sewing kit. So yeah, it says sewing kit with her needles and thread and such. And she also comes with a base, which is pretty nice. And then it has 2 pegs on it, each for the feet, because, not sure if you can see it, but there's at least 2 holes on Sally's feet, so they usually just go in there. It fit like that. A bit weird, but okay. Next one, the mayor of Halloween Town. Yeah, the elected official guy. So yeah, here he is with his arms that can move around. He has a pointing finger sticking out for some reason. Yeah, I want you to vote for me as an elected official. I can't handle things by myself. But yeah, it's an okay figure for its time. Well, the little tag, something that says mayor, because obviously he's the mayor. And then, of course, just like in the movie, his head can spin around. Although, for some reason, every time you spin his head, it makes this weird clicking noise. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but it sounds a bit like this. I always found that weird. It's like, what's inside there? Some kind of, like, spring that's going click, 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 click? I don't know. And then also he comes with this little megaphone, so that he can just hold it in his hand, kind of, and just shout around going, town meeting tonight. And then he also comes with this base, which has a top hat, and these little pegs. Now, this one's a little bit hard to get, because the pegs are kind of separated slightly, and I can't get both feet in there without, like, stretching it. So, basically, I just put 1 foot in there and just call it good. Yeah, a little bit tough with the base, but okay figure. And now we move on to the next one, which is Dr. Finkelstein, or Finkelstein, or Evil Scientist, or whatever you want to call this guy. Now, yeah, it's basically just the figure. Kind of bends his arms a bit, even though every time I bend them, it looks like the suit that he's wearing is like cracking open. And his legs don't move that much, obviously, because he's usually in a wheelchair, but this one, he doesn't have a wheelchair. And he's just standing with his arms spread out like he's flying. And then also, you open his hatch, and there's his brain, which has been shot because there's a peg inside the helmet to keep it closed. And for accessory-wise, he comes with a little microscope. Nothing fancy, just a little microscope. And he also comes with a base that has the wheelchair on it, which I'm guessing that's their excuse of why they couldn't model a wheelchair for the character. And yeah, it says Evil Scientist, even though we know his name is Dr. Finkelstein, or Finkelstein. I usually call him Finkelstein because, obviously, his name is a parody off of Dr. Frankenstein. And now we move on to 2 more figures that are basically based off of citizens of Halloween Town, such as the Werewolf. So yeah, here it is with his checkered shirts, and his tail and mouth with hinges. And his claws are very sharp. They're like pretty pointy and such. You could literally scratch someone with this and leave some permanent marks on it. And there's hind legs, and of course there's his little tail which can push down, and he opens his mouth. Rawr, 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 rawr. And for accessory wise, he comes with a bone, so that he can just chew on it. And then it comes with his base, which is pretty nice. Of course, you can get the character in there to fit in. Yeah, at least most of these characters all fit on their bases, except for the mayor. You get the characters into the base and they fit very nice. Yeah, pretty okay for making the first figure of the werewolf. And then we move on to our next citizen, which is probably one of the more recognized figures, which is Behemoth. Yeah, the big guy with the axe who's known for pointing at the Easter Bunny and yelling out, "Bunny!" But yeah, he doesn't have any pointy fingers, he's just having his arms like that. So yeah, just move his arms up and down. Pretty okay design for its time and all that. And, yep, and the also interesting thing is that his axe can move, so that you can, like, shift his eyes going this way and that way. Kind of reminds me of those old clocks where they were designed as cats, so that every time the pendulum would swing, the eyes would just move back and forth. And then, of course, you can try and twist it all the way to the left or right, and he looks like a zombie. I'm going to eat your brains, because my brain was cut out because of this axe in my head. And then for accessory-wise, he comes with this. I have no idea what it is. It's like a mini axe, so that he just carries it around, or just puts it on his arm. I don't know. It's an axe thing. He likes axes because he's behemoth. And he also comes to the base. Basically, it's the same design as the werewolf, except that it's red. Fits very well. And now we move on to the next ones, which are much bigger than the other figures that I've shown. And anyway, the first one we'll show you is Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho. So yeah, it's basically just him with his very rosy cheeks and creepy looking face, along with his little arms, his magic bag of toys for all the good girls and boys, and his little candy cane, which is nice. And he has no feet, which is kind of weird, because, like, yeah, how does Santa go around delivering presents? Oh, he has a built-in motor inside of his giant robe, so every time he's going by a house, he just goes, meow. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. And the interesting thing about this one is that he actually comes with a few accessories that are stuffed inside his bag that are in there. And you've probably already guessed I've already got them out, because getting them out of the figure is extremely hard and very tedious. But let's look at the stuff that he comes with. Oop. By dropping one immediately. Anyway, yep, here is a ball. Yep, it's basically just a bouncy ball, all brown, so it kind of looks like chocolate pieces, and yeah, they're just plastic, they're not exactly chocolate pieces. So here we have a gingerbread man, a little candy cane, all chocolate and not red and white, a little trumpet for music people, and a Christmas tree. You have a very small Christmas tree. There was another one that came with the figure, which was this little piece of candy in this little wrapper, but unfortunately I lost that years ago, so all I have are just this stuff. But yeah, it's pretty nice for a figure, besides the weird looking creepy face. But yeah, for the first time making Santa into somewhat of a figure or just a statue, it's pretty nice. I'd say you just pull this out for when you're doing Christmas decorations and have a little Christmas village and just have this in the center. It's a giant Santa. It's Santazilla. Rah! Okay, now I'm really getting carried away. I'm having too much fun with this stuff because I remember getting this back in my old days. Let's move on to the last one, which is the Oogie Boogie Man. Yeah! So yeah, here he is. Pretty much big and scary with his little face. And he's kind of all clear, which is probably based off of when he's like normal brownish color instead of his green color. And he has a hole in the butt. Well, at least we probably know that's where his anus is. And just like with Santa, he also comes with accessories which you open inside him. And you get to reveal some nasty looking bugs. Okay, let's look at them all. So here we have an ant. We have a centipede. We have a spider. I'm assuming it's a spider because it has 8 legs. We have a little insect, probably a beetle of some sort. Then we have a snail, little snail. And for some reason he has a bone. Yes, this guy's full of bugs, and for some reason they decided to throw in a bone into this character. Maybe that's his boner or something. Probably not. And yeah, I always found that weird that he has a hole in his butt. Maybe that's where he poops out his bugs when he just takes it at crap. Yeah. Oh man, I shouldn't have eaten that steak and spider stew last night. Yeah, it's a pretty okay design figure. Pretty big and such. And the interesting thing is that this character actually glows in the dark. I'm not sure if I could show it right now. I'll try and make a video, or at least show a photo of this character glowing in the dark. So anyway, that's your lot of Nightmare Before Christmas figures made by NECA. Probably one of the first Nightmare Before Christmas figures ever made. Yeah, they're a bit old and cheap nowadays, but back then they were pretty cool. And of course nowadays they are very hard to find, probably more collector's values. And they also made one of Lock, Shock, and Barrel, but unfortunately I don't have that. And I have the one that NECA made during their newer line of Nightmare Before Christmas action figures, but I'll show you that one later, since we're going to be moving on with the other stuff, looking at more Nightmare Before Christmas figures and such. So anyway, until then, this is Melting Man 234 signing out.